Okay, let's read and respond to an email. I'll try to keep as much information private. Sorry guys, I sometimes forget who wants to be private and who doesn't. So I think the general rule of thumb I should do is just to never give any personal details out. Just read stuff at the high level. So if it sounds like I'm sputtering along in my email, it's because I'm trying to, as I go, modify it accordingly. Take out city names, ages, and things like that. Let's see. This is from a young person who has been having problems with anxiety and moving forward in their life. This is I responded initially, and this is the message was sent back to me, and another message was sent back to me. How do you say that? I got the message, I responded, another one came back, and this is the one back to that. Okay, I've still been moving. I've still been moving forward. There were some nice salutation elements, but we'll move on from there. I've still been moving forward, though maybe not as dramatically as when I got my driver's license. I've been in a couple of situations where I've had to leave my comfort zone since my last email. One was getting a new health card, but the other I'm more proud of. And it happened just this morning. My dad found a freelancing opportunity for me that sounds good, except for one thing. And I hope this isn't too personal. It kind of gives it away a little bit, but I think it's okay. Except one thing. The job would be for the president/owner of the company my dad works for. If I wanted a crack at it, I'd have to call him. I can see how that could be a tricky thing to do. If you're someone with anxiety, anybody, actually. As you know, sorry, I have to wash me all sweaty. As you know, talking on the phone is a big issue for me, but social anxiety or not, I'm sure a lot of people would be afraid of calling up the head of a multi-million-dollar corporation. Regardless, I decided to go for it. I'm impressed. It's an irregular but ongoing maintenance job, so the amount of money I'd be earning won't really make a difference to my situation. But even so, I feel like doing this would be a step in the right direction towards conquering my social anxiety. I agree. Absolutely. Perfectly. You're seeing that. I love the way you notice that the money is of secondary consequence to the step that you're taking, especially as you're not yet in a position where, I don't think you're in a position yet where you're living on the streets and you need money or anything like that. Although it's great when money becomes that important as well, and that driving factor. But that you can push past that and still make the call. That's impressive. Anyway, I found your advice on keeping a journal very interesting. I had previously suggested journaling in my last responses. Journaling is a great way to kind of keep track of the challenges that you face and how you handle them down. And I specifically recommended YouTube journaling, keeping a vlog, sort of like day one. I've got this opportunity. I'm going to have to make a video. Start. Bing. I got this opportunity. I'm going to have to call the head of a multi-million-dollar corporation to get it. I'm pretty scared. Second day, ding. Guess what? I called. I got the job. Or ding. I didn't get the job, but I'm going to move on and get something else. Either route, you're chronicling steps. Efforts. It's a good thing. And those things will become easier over time. Especially you'll get to the point where in future challenges you'll ding, hit the button, and you'll kind of remember the precedent that you set in before, and it won't be so hard to make the call. It's a strange thing. Anyway, I found your advice on keeping a journal very interesting. At first I thought that it would be something I like to pass on. A lot of times I find it painful to recall moments when my anxiety is high. But then I thought, that's exactly why I should be making a journal of it all. But hold on, I kind of, there was a dog missing. Anyway, I found your advice. I'm sorry, I have to read it again. The panting dog got, I was counting the pants. I'm sorry. Anyway, I found your advice in keeping a journal very interesting. At first I thought that it would be something I'd like to pass on. I think you meant by pass on, not pass on to your children, but pass on, but not do, right? That's okay. Don't worry. I mean, I throw things out just to throw things out. A lot of times I find it painful to recall moments when my anxiety is high, but then I thought, that's exactly why I should be making a journal of it all. By reliving it, it almost gives me a second chance to learn and grow from the feeling. Yeah. But for me, the more important element then, it's one thing to relive getting stung by a bee, but it's the actual moment itself. But it's another thing to relive getting stung by a bee and then having healed and survived and gone on, right? That's what I'm really after in all of this is the result of the process, to show yourself that you've survived. And if you're lucky, and if you're proactive in this, you'll get to the point that gets kind of addicting. You want to take on challenges. And in the end, what I would love to see happen to someone in your situation is you get to the point where you want to sign up for Toastmasters. Toastmasters, an organization, that international organization that I think it's international. They help people make speeches in public, and you join Toastmasters and you go every month and you have a meeting, and select members get up and they make speeches, and they're practicing to become captains of industry, leaders of organizations and the like. And they get together to help refine, tune, and practice their art. I mean, wouldn't that be something if you get so into it that, I'm not saying that's where you're headed, but it can get addictive and you actually want to join something like that. I would love to. I missed the chance to do forensic debate in college. I passed on it. I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd done it. Okay. I'm glad I made your day with my last email. Your support, you made my day because you were making such indications of positive steps. And a lot of people write to me and then write back to me and tell me why they can't, give me a list of reasons why they can't do what they want to do. You wrote back to me giving me solid signs that you had a will and an energy to start with the baby steps, like you said before, like getting out and getting your license and stuff like that. Your support has really helped me along. Thank you. The advice and suggestions you offer are great. Thank you. But more importantly, I'm really glad that I'm really glad that I think it says, that I turn to you and just have you got too many twos. I'm really glad that I can turn to you and just have a conversation about it. Your feedback and sharing alone has really helped transform my problems from being a big, dark, intangible monster into a solidified set of obstacles that I can tackle. Well put. Big, dark, intangible monster changes into a solidified set of obstacles that I can tackle. I really like... one more time. A big, dark, intangible monster becomes a solidified set of obstacles that I can tackle. I love that on so many levels. The word intangible, the dark, the monster, it has all those elements of something that you can't or dare not approach. Whereas a set of obstacles, solidified, use the word solidified. You're a good writer, good thinker. A solidified set of obstacles is something that you can actually get your life around, get your mind around, and move up over and push aside. Well put. I'm really glad I'm reading this email aloud, because you've got a lot of wisdom to share with others. Just like you mentioned, I shouldn't downplay my accomplishments so far, but even so, I don't want to consider myself a success story just yet. I still live at home, I still make peanuts, and I'm still very reliant on others. But then again, maybe the word successful is a verb rather than an adjective. Maybe it's more about what I'm trying to do rather than what I've already got. Okay, I'm just going to turn it over to you, man. Sometimes I get correspondence from folks that are, younger, and I don't know how much I can help people. I just make these videos and put them out there to share what I can. But I get email from people who tell me that they sometimes help, and it really makes me happy to get emails from like this that know that effort is spreading. That there's people like you who are overcoming their fears and their challenges and have a mind that can see the journey. And I hope that you will make efforts to share that journey the way I'm doing at this stage in my life, throughout your life, because I think you have a lot to share, my friend. The world, if more people like you, or more people of any sort, more people of courage, and any sort of courage, can simply overcome their hesitancy and, more importantly, their ego. Because a lot of what this hesitancy is about is being found out for something that you suspect yourself to really be. You don't want people to know. Most people are good people, though, and we're all fools to a greater or lesser degree, and there's no reason to shut our mouths just to preserve a false sense of reality. Well, successful or not, we're getting near the end here. Well, successful or not, I should probably wrap this up. I still feel there's so much more I could talk about. For instance, did I mention I have a girlfriend? I could go on about her impact on the situation. I could also talk about why I think I got into this situation, but either way, this is really getting off topic, so I won't take up any more of your valuable time. Thanks again, Kurt. I really appreciate all you've done. And the name is signed. This email really made me happy. I don't think I have to add much, because this is like from someone who, yeah, I always use the analogy of hiking and backpacking and such, and you're like a person that, if you're venturing out into life, you've got your equipment, you've got your kit, so to speak, and your provisions, and what you don't have, you know that what you need to do to get it, and you're ready to go out and do it. There's really not much more I need to say. If you were my son, I would, at this point, I've given you your gender away, but if you were my son at this point, this is the point where I would kind of stop, step back as you stand at the threshold of my home, ready to go out the door, fold my arms and wave you goodbye, salutations as you venture out, as you're venturing out of your own accord. And then when the door closed, I would sigh, a sigh of pride and satisfaction and joy, and a little bit of fear and maybe some anxiety, a little bit of my own, because you're like I said, if you're my son, you're heading out, and but I would feel good, and I would feel like you're ready to take on life as your own man. I really do think that way about your situation. So even though you haven't defined yourself as a success yet, complete success yet, because you're still at home and you're still have some dependencies there, it looks like the more important element of the mental state that it takes to become liberated and in control of your own life. Not liberated from your parents. I mean, I don't mean it that way. I mean liberated from your hesitancy, liberated from your anxiety, and never completely, but enough to go on, and then ready to move out. You've already got that, and in that way, you have a greater measure of success than anything worldly or tangible necessarily. So good luck, my friend. And so I don't think you even need that. I think you're just heading out. Keep in touch. Let me know how things are going. I'm damn proud of you. Take care, friend. See ya.